In spring of 2008, Washoe County Regional Parks and Open Space restored a wetlands area along Evans Creek in Rancho San Rafael Regional Park. A little bit later in that year, our junior host, Annie, visited with Washoe County Parks Planning Manager Linda Nelson at the restoration area to talk about its habitat and its importance to water quality in the Truckee Meadows.
What makes a wetland different from other natural habitats?
Well, wetlands are pretty unique, especially in Nevada, which is the driest state in the Union. But really, I think one of the most important things about wetlands is they have a permanent source of water. So that water can either be, coming up from the ground, it might be a nearby stream, or in this case, like the pond. And that's sort of what really is the main component for wetlands, is they have a source of water.
What kind of animals live in this kind of habitat?
Oh boy, all kinds of animals. You can see those ducks right behind us. There's some mallards and there's some coots and Canada geese, lots of waterfowl, all different kinds of ducks. Love the ponds. But out in the wetlands out in front of us here, we've got a lot of killdeer that even like going out through there.
Now, are there any fish in this pond?
There
or just
are.
tadpoles?
There are. Yep. No, there are fish. There are a lot of fish in this pond because it's deep enough. There's trout that can live in it.
Wow.
So we have some big trout.
Now, last time I was here, they had some tadpole, like a whole little colony of black tadpoles.
Oh yeah.
So, do you get a lot of frogs too?
There are a lot of frogs, and it's really neat down here when all the tadpoles start hatching, because there's western toads and there's Pacific tree frogs that come out down here. But what happens is even the big toads, like the western toads, and do you know which ones I'm talking about? They're the big toads. They come down to the water to hatch out as tadpoles, and then they'll go back up to where it's drier. So even some of those toads that you see when it's drier out in the pastures and areas, they have to come down to the wetlands to hatch out and have their tadpoles.
So I've noticed on the rim of the pool, on the pond, there's all these plants. What kind of plants are they?
Those are called cattails, and they're probably the most important wetland plant. Did you know that every part of the cattail is usable?
Why?
Well, the leaves of the cattail are woven for basketry and also to help in some of the making of duck decoys and different things like that. The roots are edible. They taste really fresh, and they're eaten. They have high protein. They're really tasty. And even the tops that you see right there with all of the fuzz coming out of them are used to line baskets and, provide sort of a soft covering for things. So every part of it's usable.
Now, how deep is this pond?
Well, this pond, it's called Herman's Pond, and it's probably about 10 feet deep, but in places it's probably more like 15 feet, because if you really want to have trout, we talked about the trout that are in here, they need to be in deeper holes so that the cormorant birds don't go fishing and eat them all. If the fish are down deep enough in the pond, the birds that are out here won't eat them. So there's a few places where the pond's deeper.
Now, what kind of birds kind of pass through here sometimes?
Oh boy, at Rancho San Rafael we have a bird list here that has over 200 types of birds on it. So we've had everything from osprey, those big birds that you find up at Donner Lake and Lake Tahoe. We've had golden eagle, red-tailed hawk, Cooper's hawk, sharp-shin hawk, kestrel. There's a little kestrel that's flying around here. Blue heron, black-crowned night herons, and all of them really rely on the wetlands, because the wetlands are providing not just water for the wildlife, but food and shelter as well.
So how can we help to make sure that these wetlands survive?
I think the best thing that all of us can do is learn as much as we can about wetlands, study the birds and the plants, help protect them, get involved with organizations that help preserve wetlands, Audubon organizations, Sierra Club, different things like that. But really, I think, just, I think, learning about them. And if you learn about them, you will learn to appreciate them and understand how important they are. Help, and you can teach others what you've learned about in your knowledge, and that will help save them.
Well, thank you for joining us. And
Thank you.
And come down and see this pond and the hybrid duck. Goodbye.